Well, here it is, guys, race week, less than 7 days to go now to the 2012 Gold Coast Airport Marathon. I'm Chris Van Hoof from Chisel Runners, and this is my last chance to have a bit of a chat to you before you line up on your start line this weekend. Look, I reckon as the race gets a little bit closer, the race takes on a bit of a personality of its own. You know, we start to refer to it as an it, and you know, I mean, how many conversations have you had saying, you know, look, I don't know what I'm going to feel like when I'm doing it, or it's my first time doing it, or I can't wait for a cold beer at the end of it. And it's this personality that the race takes on that sort of lends to a little bit of nervous anticipation, a bit of nervous energy as we get closer to that start line. So I want to talk to you about that personality of the race today. And the very first thing I want you to recognise is that you deserve it, and you deserve to enjoy it, whatever it is for you, because you've made you know, turning up to that start line and training for this event a priority. And that very fact that you've committed to a process of training, whether it's been, you know, perfect or whether you've had some ups and downs, means that you've made it a priority and you've made that decision to actually take on a bit of a challenge. So when the nerves are starting to really build and you've got a few thousand people around you with that anticipation on the start line, just stop for a second and just go, you know what, I deserve it and I deserve to enjoy this today. And I reckon that'll help alleviate some of that stress. Look, the second thing I reckon is really important to recognise is that when things get a little bit tough out there, if they get a little bit tough during your race, that's the time that you really want to embrace it. And I was at a race recently where a professional was asked the question, you know, what goes through your head in the back end of a race when things start to get a bit tough? And she turned to the commentator and she said, you know what, that's the time where I actually need to really embrace the race. I really need to take it on because that's the whole reason I'm doing it. And I reckon that most people who are going to be starting, you know, whether it be the half marathon or the marathon this weekend, there's something in you that loves a challenge. There's something in you that has a little bit of a question about, you know, I'm not sure how I'm going to go, whether it be the first time at a distance or the first time at attempting a certain pace or a certain speed. And I reckon that, you know, it's that question, it's that challenge that really got you up to start to commit to that process and enter the race in the first place. So when things get a little bit tough, when you need to really call on yourself and grit your teeth, embrace that moment in the race, because that's essentially the key point that everyone really in the back of their mind has as a motivator to complete the event. And look, the third thing that I reckon we need to do is we need to know that there's part of it that we can control. Alright, so you have 1 square meter around you, and I reckon everything that you can control is in that 1 square meter. You can control your posture, okay? You can go through a little bit of a checklist. Head up, shoulders back, feet turning over in terms of your posture. You can control what goes on in your head. You know, you can allow it to sort of drift off, or you can keep everything in nice and close and be positive and really enjoy the experience. So just recognizing that there's certain elements of that day that you can control really lets you take ownership of your race. It's no point really worrying about, you know, if a training partner or someone from your running club is just going to go sprinting past you, or if they're not looking like they're going that well. It's out of your control. Your race is in that 1 square meter. So there you have it. The 3 things I reckon you need to know about this personality of the race is that, you know, you really deserve to enjoy it, that when things get tough you can embrace it, and that there is a 1 square meter area around you, which is your race, and you can control it. Look, I've really enjoyed bringing you these videos. I'm actually going to keep these videos going in the lead up to the Tomawan Mountain Challenge, which is my own event. I'll put a little bit of information about that up on our Facebook page, so if you haven't jumped up on that, jump on the Chisel Fitness Facebook page. And look, the only other thing that I will say is do the simple things right come race morning. Hydrate yourself in the days leading up. Make sure you get up and eat early enough before your race. Put Vaseline, grease, Band-Aids wherever you need to do it, and just get out there and enjoy it. I'd love to hear how your race goes, so please don't hesitate to send me an email or get in touch through our Facebook page, and just let us know how you enjoy the 2012 Gold Coast Airport Marathon. I hope the videos have helped. All the best for a fantastic race. Cheers.